Oh. All right, I will give you guys a few minutes to get in here because we had to shut down the other stream and restart. Oh, let's see. Here they come. There we go. PMP coming. Ah, PMP found it. Of course you did. There we go. Hopefully you can see and hear me now. Yes, you can, says Dan Phillips. Teresa, what are we doing here? Let me see here. All right. So, anyway. Oh, how's everybody doing? Forrest, Curb Creeper. Sorry, I was removing somebody from the chat that shouldn't be here and knows that they shouldn't be here. So, yeah. And if you don't know who you are, I'm pretty sure you know because you should have known that I would find out about you sooner or later. Yes, you should have known this. So there's no need for you to be in the chat. There's no need for you to be on this channel. Yeah, you are what you are. So let's see. Who all do we got in here? Dan Phillips from Virginia. Sherry Bogan, how are you doing? Forrest, good to see you. Teresa Buchanan. Dynamite, I don't see my comment. You have your comment. You don't see Michael G's comment anymore because we don't allow those types in here, right? Dynamite, what kind of types am I talking? Dynamite, you want to put what type I'm talking about in the chat there? Let me see if Dynamite's listening. What don't we allow? Everybody's waiting with bated breath. Pedos for the win. Yes. When you've done 12 years in a state correctional institute for doing nasty things with a 14-year-old when you're a 40-something-year-old man at the time. It's just, you don't belong here. You don't belong in my society, in my world. You don't belong anywhere as far as I'm concerned. So, yes, we escorted that gentleman to the door. Yes, I would have found out about you sooner or later. Better sooner than later. But anyway, there's that. Okay, how's everybody doing? Thanks, Rob. Didn't know that. Yeah, neither did I until somebody started asking questions about an individual, and then I started to dig into the background on the Googler and looking up different things in different states until I found the mugshots and the court documents. So, yes, heads on pikes. That's right. Yes, we kind of had a fox in the hen house there, didn't we? Been here for quite some time. Yes. Anyway, let's get. Who was it? Let's back it up a little bit. Who was it? Dome Seeker. You want to put it in there? Dynamite. You want to throw it in there? Who was it? Tonight we're going to talk about shit hit the fan. We're all going to die. Somebody's going to drop it in there in a second. I'm pretty sure. Forrest says, wow. Pretty sure. Forrest says, wow. Someday, but not today. You can find anything online. Yes, you can find anything online. And for as many times as I've talked about putting pedos' heads on pikes around here, to think that they would try to slide up beside me to hide in my shadow is amazing. Because, I mean, what better place to be, right? Oh, somebody said Michael G. Michael G. Oh, well, there you go. But anyway, just saying, might not want to let that man around your children's. Recidivism rate is like 30% amongst those people. Okay. Yes, we're all going to die someday. We're all going to die. So don't panic. All right. Relax. I know, look, everybody's, oh shit. McBean Farms, where have you been? Michael G is no longer in the building. Okay. Michael G he has exquisite taste and prefers tender victuals. And we don't like people who like tender victuals around here. All right. Yes. Anyway, we in a post collapse society, we would put heads on pikes. I'm just saying, but we're not going to do that here because he's already done his time. He's already served his sentence, or blah 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 blah. Shouldn't exist anymore. Anyway, diddler issues. Yes, Curb Creeper. But and the thing that and they try to weasel in. But anyway, everybody's worried about SHTF. You should worry about things like that. The dangers are sometimes closer than you realize. All right. Sometimes they're right there. Sometimes they have a smile on their face. Sometimes they go, "Hi, how are you doing? Lovely kids you got there." But anyway, I digress. What are we talking about? Like, you all got me completely off the stream, off the topic with that. But anyway, shit hits the fan. Yes, shit's hit the fan all the time. People are always worried about nukes and Ebola virus and all these other grid down, which is possible. I mean, but I would surmise that SHTF has already happened, because if 20 years ago you told me that children wouldn't know if they should cut off their penises or sew penises on themselves, then in modern society, I would say no, that's some crazy fucking post-apocalyptic shit. If you told me that kids would be identifying as cats and shitting in litter boxes in schools, I would say no, that's some crazy shit. Well, apparently shit has hit the fan because we're living in that now. All right. When you're losing your freedoms, shit has hit the fan already. Okay. And look overseas to see what's coming here next. For example, there were just 6, possibly 7 retired police officers in London that were arrested and charged with hate speech for being in a group chat on WhatsApp. These are dudes that some of them were retired since 2005, but they've been brought up on charges. They're arrested, and some of them just pled guilty. I think one of them didn't, and they're awaiting sentencing for saying some fucked up, colorful jokes in chat. Not threatening anybody. Trust me. You go to the Facebook page, I'm an Asshole, which I'm a member of. There are some colorful things in there. Now, do we agree with all of them? No, but 6 dudes talking on a chat, cracking racist jokes. I mean, you want to go to jail for it, go to prison for it? Well, in England, you can. All right. That's some shit that's coming here. So I would say shit has hit the fan. SHTF is already here. We're living in it, experiencing it in real time. Okay. Because don't think that those things aren't on their way here. All right. We're usually a few years behind, maybe a decade at most behind what happens in England. All right. Or Australia. And same things there. All right. There are lots of places like that. Um, and it's ridiculous. Canada too. Canada. Um, but tonight I want to talk about some of the most likely SHTFs to happen, and those that aren't. All right. Now, the most likely, we're talking regional events. Okay, power outages. Uh, Especially during winter, especially this time of year, power outages will be one of your biggest SHTF threats that you could have, because no power for a lot of people, that means no heat. Okay. And in this time of year, no heat can be deadly. All right. So make sure you plan for the events, or the event that you have a power outage. How will you keep warm? You know, through the night. How will you survive through the night? And whatever you do to survive through a night on any one of these scenarios, whatever you do to survive on night one or day one, only needs to be repeated the next day and the next day and the next day. So if you can focus on, what do I need for today, and then just extrapolate that out. Okay. It's not, survival's not rocket surgery. We've literally came from living in huts and caves and shit. And the ones that could do the same survival thing over and over, well, we're here today thanks to those ones. The ones that couldn't, well, who knows what happened to their bloodlines? We don't know. But this time of year, power outages during winter, flooding, usually in the spring or rainy seasons, depending on where you live on the planet. Flooding is another hazard. All right. When, with the power outages, you have to worry about how to stay warm. With flooding, one, you have to know that it's coming. So if you live in a flood zone area, or an area prone to sudden floods, flash floods, you need to be aware, all right, of your situational understanding. Has it been raining upstream from you? Not where you're at, but upstream from you. Pay attention to weather events upstream from you, because that's where the water comes from. All right. A lot of people will focus on where they're at and not pay attention, especially in floods and shit. Won't pay attention to 60 miles upstream. Oh, yeah, the weather here, it's sunny. Let's take my kids and go down here by the creek. Meanwhile, there's a tropical depression 50 miles north that's been dumping hundreds of gallons a minute, and it's all coming my way. All right. That's why people die in flash floods, because they focus where they're at. That's it. No. So think about that. Blizzards, not so much as in like you're trapped in a place, because that would be like, the same thing as the powers, you staying warm. Blizzards, being stuck in them, not being able to continue your travel because you can't see, the roads closed down, avalanche came across the road, which does happen. Trees, power lines come across the road, you can't go. All right. Do you have what you need in your vehicle right now to be able to survive the night in your vehicle or somewhere close to your vehicle, and provide yourself with heat and stay alive till the next day? Food, clothing, water, heat via fire, preferably not inside the vehicle. Don't set the inside of do not start a fire on your floorboard. Okay. It will end poorly for you. It's common sense. All right. Build a shelter, fire slightly away, heat comes into shelter. Okay. Things like that. If you don't have those in your vehicle, especially this time of year, if you're in a air environment that gets cold, then you're doing it wrong. Okay. It's just MacGyver Prep. What the hell y'all talking about? We're talking about different types of. Well, are you talking about in the chat? I'll hop in the chat in a few minutes. Another likely event: tornadoes. Tornadoes are another likely SHTF event that people on a regional or even smaller scale can can be hit by. All right, because those things like to travel. They don't like to just stay in one spot. All right, and they do massive damage. Do you have if you live in tornado territory, do you have shelter for said tornadoes? If you don't, you're doing it wrong. All right, dig a hole. How long have you lived there? You better just move there if you're not ready for a tornado and you live where tornadoes come frequently. It's craziness. Especially if you live in or relatively close to a trailer park, because they're attracted to those things for some reason. Hurricanes, same thing. Do you have a means to egress? Is where you live, is it very near the coast? Will it be hit by tidal surge? If it will, where are you going to go when a hurricane's coming? Do you have an evacuation point? You should. And it's like, well, I don't know. You know a hurricane's coming a week out. So you can pretty much walk wherever you need to get away from a hurricane. Let's talk about localized. Some localized SHTFs you may encounter. Riots and protests. Okay? It's going to be the localized small. These will mainly be, I would like to say almost always, in densely populated liberal areas, because that's what they do. Okay, that's what they do. We don't do that. People that have jobs don't usually riot. You might go on strike if you're a member of a union, but you don't typically riot. The last time I think that conservatives rioted, and it wasn't called rioted, it was called the coal mine wars, the coal wars in West Virginia. And yeah, it wasn't a riot, it was war. Okay. But yeah, so be ready for that. Riots. Are they going to have riots in your area? Has there been protesting in your area? Has an event transpired in your area, like George Floyd? If a bunch of cops killed somebody of a minority status within a block of where you live, you may want to bug out for a little while until they get done burning shit down. Just an opinion, just an idea. Now, let's talk about Mad Max. Mad Max, for the most part, is fiction. All right. The whole, there's going to be roving gangs, going across the highways, mowing down women and children, and the cannibals and all that. I mean, for the most part, there are exceptions to every rule, but for the most part, that's just fiction and will not happen. It won't, because power does not like a vacuum. Okay, it doesn't. So anytime there is a vacuum in society, in the power structure of society, it will be filled rather quickly. I mean, we literally knocked out the power grid. Wiped it off. The power grid, the internet, the fresh water, the damn garbage men. We wiped it all out in Operation Shock and Awe. All right. There was none of that. But it was not very long. It was days and weeks before those services were being slowly restored by like Al Qaeda. Yeah. So like literally Al Qaeda in Iraq provided garbage services. Pick up people's trash in neighborhoods. Because that's what government does. All right. So in Afghanistan, same types of things. All right. Warlords don't just warlord, they also provide services. Okay. So there's not going to be a lot of this, the roving gangs going through marauding and all that, because those people will be reined in really quick or wiped out really quick, because they'll either become the government or be crushed by whatever the next government is. All right. Probably somewhere in between. Probably some of them will be brought in, and then some of them, you know, off. But that's the way things go. Well, let me hop in the chat real quick here. What do we got going on in the chat? Backcountry Preps, Uncle Rob. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Hearts and minds. Oh, come on. In Mad Max, we will definitely see a druggie on a mutated semi playing a guitar with a 1 billion watt sound system going through the desert at 70 miles per hour. Yes. Yeah. But you see, here's the thing. You might see something like that. You might, Mubu, because here's the thing. That wasn't just like some random cannibal. No, that was the government. All right. One of their officers had went astray on Fury Road. What you were mentioning on Fury Road, they had a defector. All right, kind of like one of the Russians trying to come over to us, or one of the Nazis trying to come over to us, or one of our people, or Snowden trying to go over there. They had a defector. All right, and they were trying to crush that, so they sent out their berserkers. I guess you would be the best way to go. Their horde. All right, but that was literally government. All right. They were soldiers doing what they were told. And that, even the Army, even the U.S. Army has a band. Okay. They do. They trumpets, brass, strings. Yes, even the Army has a band. So we can't hold them at fault for having a dude that could rock a guitar with that. Besides, the generator, the power they had to have, like you were saying, to crank all them speakers. I mean, good thing that dude was deaf anyway. Mad Max is a good movie. Now, see, Mad Max is like the beginning of the fall of society. The original Mad Max. That's the like, oh well, they're taking out the police, like defund the police, and then they all start going crazy and killing police. But over the vast span of things, I mean, all of the Mad Max movies, basically, if you notice one recurring theme is that somebody is establishing the law. But nobody ever thinks about that. You have in the Thunderdome, all right, checking all your weapons at the gate. They got rules. They got laws. If you break them, 2 men enter, 1 man leave. That's government. All right. It's about reestablishing government. That's what Mad Max is about. Everybody's like, oh, Mad Max is going to be craziness. All that. No, it's just transitioning from one type of government to another type of government. All right. And not everybody always survives those types of transitions. Dynamite, were you in the band? Dude, I couldn't play a single instrument. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I can like ding, 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 dong, 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 ding, ding, ding on a piano, but that might be it. I mean, I could pretend to play harmonica until you actually realize that it's like gut-wrenching sounds I make coming out of it. Right, but the semi in the desert at 70 mile per hour, and they're conserving gas and diesel. Oh, no conserving gas and diesel. Gas and diesel was just water. They were in a desert environment. Water. It's okay. What does come from a desert environment? Oil and gas. All right. What doesn't come from a desert environment? Water, for the most part, except in that when they had some underground pumps or something. But in that environment, the water would be far more valuable than diesel, because you control the water, you control life. You just use the diesel to maintain control of the water. Yeah, I got your flute, buddy. You might play. Old Michael G might play the flute. I don't know about that. I don't know if his victim was a male or female. But I probably shouldn't joke about that, huh? Kentucky Survival Evening. How you doing? Shit hit the fan. Yes, we are currently in a SHTF. Because you want proof that we're in SHTF? People are using pronouns. If that's not SHTF enough for you, I don't know what is. Because it clearly demonstrates that we are encouraging mental illness instead of treating it. I mean, it is what it is. But all right, think about those things. The most common threat is the one, in your area, is the one that you've seen and dealt with time and time again. So whether it be losing power during the winter, floods in the spring, or whatever time of year it floods in your area, blizzards, tornadoes, hurricanes, forest fires. If you live in a forest fire, have an evacuation plan. Okay, have bug out bags, duplicate documents, so you can get out, because those things, they don't care how much you're prepped. If they want to burn you out, they're going to burn you out. So plan for those things. Those are the most common things. If someday nukes fall from the sky, well, then nukes fall from the sky. There's not too much you can do about it. There's nothing at all that I can do about it, except hope I'm not in the direct blast radius, or I'm not within the direction of the prevailing winds, okay, of the fallout. So, and that's one reason why I like the region I live in, because of the geographical isolation, if you will, and the, wind currents, everything like that. Never say forest fire. Forest fire says forest says never say forest fire. Okay, but yeah. So don't worry. Oh, you know what? If you're worried about nukes, you have been watching Canadian Prepper too much. Okay, just a little bit, piquito. This much, a little bit too much. I'm Washburn Billy. How you doing? Oh, you're fine. You can always just rewind it and watch it again when I go off here. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, you like that PMP? Yeah, it's just a little bit too much. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. He usually puts out good information. I mean, albeit it's usually just a big infomercial, and that like makes me want to hold my eyeball in, because I'm like, oh, it's an infomercial and it sucks. Oh, yeah, lots of people seem like nice guys, and and people are always saying, nice. The road to hell was paved by good intentions. You know what? You meet most of the politicians in DC, and I guarantee they're nice. They're nice. Just because they're not, Michael G is nice. Yes. Very nice guy. I've talked to him on the phone, FaceTime. Yeah. Nice guy. Monsters hide in plain sight. All right. Yes. Thank you, Joe Morgan. There are things that I guarantee Joe and I do not agree on. I guarantee it. But I'm okay with that, because he'll be out there like, I think you're an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I am an asshole, but I think you're a bit of a douche. And he'll be like, all right, yeah, I might be, but don't confuse being nice for being good or right. That's a problem. That's a big problem we have in society. A lot of people, oh, well, they're nice. I don't want to hurt their feelings, because they're nice. Well, sometimes people need their fucking feelings hurt. All right. Sometimes we need a reality check. All right. When your kid comes and says, I think I identify as a cat, slap upside the head and say, shut up. That's a retarded. Because the definition of retarded is operating a reduced capacity, regardless of what it is, whether it be an engine or a brain. If it's operating at a reduced capacity, a less than full capacity, it's retarded. And if my kid thinks that they're shitting in a litter box, then they're damn retarded. And I'm going to correct the situation. Okay. All these pronouns is, he, she, they, them. I identify as we. Who the fuck? You got a mouse in your pocket? No. Stop encouraging this shit. Don't play along with the game. All right? It's mental illness. Like I've said before, if I want to cut my arm off because I don't like it there, it just feels like it shouldn't be there. I hope that the people who actually care about me would try to get me help. Be like, hey, we need to stop him from hurting himself. But if I came and said, I want to cut my penis off because I think it shouldn't be there, I should not have people encouraging or affirming my life choice. No, I have a mental illness. My brain is telling my body to cut parts off of it that are perfectly normal to be there. Yes, Kelly, they need help, not encouragement. Well, exceptions to every rule there, Musket Merv. Yes. What's that about a millstone around the neck? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, they used to help crazy people, to help prevent them from harming themselves and others. And I know people will not like this. There'll be somebody out there that's like, well, my son is this or my daughter is that. Well, then they're mentally ill. Okay, they are. But I have a theory. I do have a theory. And I understand that some people are sexually attracted to the opposite sex. Okay, I understand that. That's the L, the G, and the B. All right, I understand that part, but I'm not saying that is not itself some kind of an issue. But what we may be looking at, all right, follow me here. What we may be looking at is that perhaps the body acknowledges there's a flaw somewhere in the DNA. All right, because nature always finds a way to improve itself. Nature doesn't go backwards. Nature goes forward. So if there's a problem in a male gene, in the genome somewhere, all right, in the DNA, maybe nature's saying, all right, let's flip this so that it, being a male, is attracted to males, and therefore now it cannot reproduce. Thus ending the bloodline and terminating the flawed genetics. Watch, 50 years, they're going to figure this out. They're going to be like, this dude on YouTube was talking about this shit. Think about it. How you doing, Robin Prater? Glad you're here. Eugenics is natural, though. Not like we selected it, like nature's doing it on its own. All right, nature sees a flaw, Luke B., and says, I'm going to terminate this by simply making it unattracted to what it can reproduce with. It might be the way things are working. We just don't know it. We just go, oh, well, my daughter's gay. Okay, well, wish her the best. She's never going to produce any offspring being gay. My son is gay. Well, he's never going to produce any offspring. So that genetic defective gene disappears. See? Luke says he sees my point. So anyway, all right. I got way off track on that shit. But yeah, we're in SHTF right now. Make no mistake. You're losing your freedoms. You're losing them fast. And it's only going to get worse. And there's nothing that you can really do to stop it. All you can do is kind of get ready for it. Now, on my next video, let me go flip this page. My next video here in a day or so, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing. I'm going to go over the world of lies. The truth sounds crazy. Yes, Pilgrim. In the next video, I'm going to go over how to deal with a standoff versus potential marauders or home invaders or law enforcement. So we're going to go over some of the things you should do ahead of time, some of the things you should keep in mind, and Yeah, it should be interesting. Everyone needs to go out and get buy a why? Why? Dynamite? Do you like those things? Ew. No. I can just picture the pink goo being squirted into a mold. Okay. McRibs. Yeah. It's into a mold and fake bone shape. Dome shaker. You might have to hit him with your wrench. All right. Well, if anybody has anything else they want to talk about real quick, like if it's a good topic, we can talk about it for a few minutes. But if not, then we're going to sign off here. I'll give you a couple minutes to let me know. All right. No eyelids stacked on an anthill. Just saying. Oh, that'd be a way to go. Have a good night. Mental health as the world crashes. Mental health. Yeah. It's crashing because of a lack of mental health. All right. Everybody wants to be affirming. We're going to affirm. I affirm that you're fucking insane if you think that you need to affirm mental illness. And mental laziness also. Yes. I mean, and I'm a dick. I'm a dick. Here, let me see if I can find it real quick. Because I'll show you I'm an asshole. Somebody was missing. All right. Somebody was missing. They put it on Facebook. And they're like, oh, help us find so and so. And so everybody, where the hell is that recent? Let me see here. Oh, what's that one? Okay. Damn it. Stop. Okay. Everybody, I'll just show it on here. I said, have you seen this person? And I commented, I said, probably working in the basement. All right. So, yeah. A lot of people were like, oh, that's not funny. You shouldn't joke about that. No, well, I mean, y'all on here calling and saying him and her at the same time. And this, and no, I will not play into your madness, into your insanity. All right. I'm glad. Dynamite, you like that one, huh? Oh. All right. Y'all have a good night. God bless. And remember, if you have a penis, you're a boy. If you have a vagina, you're a girl. And that's it. Okay? That's it. If you think you shouldn't have one of those that you do have, seek help. All right. Good night. God bless. Love you guys. And remember, don't let foxes in your hen house. Anybody got a question about that, refer back to the chat.